Hey you guys, Beth Pizzata here, and whatever you hear in the background is just Aaron killing the Vex. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, he's playing Destiny. So, I just wanted to come and talk to you guys a little bit about the Kat Von D foundation. I have it on today, and this video is going to be in several... going to be recorded in several different little pieces like they always are for foundation reviews, because I don't do them all in one shot. Because if I do them all in one shot, you guys don't get a true review of the foundation. So basically I'm doing this part today because I have had this on since about noon. So it has been about 6 hours, but, well no, it's been on since 11 and it's 6 now. So it's been on for 7 hours, but the big thing is that I've also walked out in the real feel 80, mid to high 80s Texas weather. So in general, whenever I am wearing a foundation, I always do some sort of setting powder on top, and for primer, it varies from day to day. Today's primer was this guy, but most of the time I wear this guy. So the biggest thing I have to say about the Kat Von D foundation is it does give you a very, very flawless foundation coverage. It is really good looking. The main thing is it is a waterproof formulation, so you absolutely have to take it off with some sort of makeup remover designed for waterproof makeup. So when I first tried the Kat Von D, it was before I started working in skincare at all, so I didn't understand that I should start with an oil cleanser. So once I learned that, that's why I was breaking out from it, because when I first tried the Kat Von D, I absolutely hated it because it made me break out really bad. And it's just because I wasn't removing it with an oil-based cleanser. The bottle is just a regular pump foundation. It's really, really pretty. It looks like tattoos, basically. This is number light 48. This is my summer color. So as you guys can see, I am very, very tan. The rest of the year, I'm like a light 42. It is very, very affordable. It's $30-something. I will put it in the down bar below. And you only use one pump when you use it. So the other things I want to show you with this foundation is like putting it on with a beauty blender versus a brush. I do usually put it on with my beauty blender. When I don't put it on with my beauty blender, I actually put it on with a Real Techniques stippling brush. That said, I've tried many different brush styles with it to see what I like the best. Those two have just been my favorite. And I will give you kind of a breakdown side by side of how I apply both of those, but I'm going to record that another day, so be prepared for that because I'm going to look totally different and insert that footage here. So I am out of the primer I usually use. I had been using the Cover FX Anti-Acne primer. Right now, today, I'm going to use the Kate Somerville Prime Protection Dual Action Primer with an SPF 15. Just because I'm getting ready to go to the fair with my BFF since I was 4. So it's important that I have on literally as much sunscreen as possible. So what we're going to do is we are going to put on half of the face of the Kat Von D foundation with a wet beauty blender. We're going to put on the other half of the face with a Real Techniques stippling brush, because I do use both with that foundation and I like both. So I'm going to start with one pump. Usually that's enough for either application mode, but since I'm switching between the two, it may not be. I'm going to start first with the wet beauty blender on the right half of my face. And you guys are going to get to see all of my acne scarring just magically disappear. This is shade number 58, which is usually super dark for me, but I'm very, very tan right now. It is summer in Texas, so that's what happens. You can see I still have a ton left and not a lot really left to do. So I am going to go ahead and spot conceal on my chin and do just a little more coverage right through here. The reason why I need that to be so even is because then when I go to do my contour, if that area of my face isn't even, it really shows when I contour. So we're going to do the last half of the face with the stippling brush. It's dry, I'm not using it wet or anything. And you're going to see that it does a fantastic job with this as well. Do I prefer one to the other? No, not at all. What I will say about this foundation too is this is one of the few that stick on my nose, which is a huge deal because a lot of them do not stick on my nose. And then that's a problem. So I am going to go back with the beauty blender and apply this here. I just don't feel like the brush does a very good job with it there. Do I think this is necessarily a great concealer? Honestly, it works as one. If you have concerns with dryness or texture below the eyes, I would make sure you hydrate really well, or mix it with the coconut primer below the eyes. But you can see that is the completed face. It's pretty freaking flawless, and that was pretty fast. Yeah. So I'm just going to put on the rest of my face. I will show some final pictures, and I will check in too after the fair and dinner and everything so that you guys can see how it wears. Because as you guys saw in the other video clip, I've only worn it in for like 7 hours in the other clip, so it's not a very good test. So I will definitely get some pictures before the fair, and I'll try to come back and do another video clip after the fair. So this is going to be what it looks like before the fair. It is, right now, it is 1:16 p.m. So we didn't end up going to the fair because I'm a big lame, and I'm lame. So we didn't go to the fair, but it is now 9:58. So I put this on. I don't even remember what time I said I put this on, but it is now later that night. Still looks really, really good. So that is what it looks like now that it is 9:59 p.m. Didn't go to the fair though, so I didn't get to do that part of the road test. Sorry guys. So this is kind of going to be the last clip of this whole Kat Von D craziness. I'm just going to wrap it all up in this one. I've never had the whole blinds lighting thing happening before, so I don't know what that's all about. Apparently if I record at 11 o'clock, this is what happens. Obviously, my voice is really weird, and I'm sorry. I've been kind of sick all week, and I don't know what's going on. I think it's allergies, but it could also just be like cold. I actually missed several days of work because of it, so just work with me if I continue to lose my voice throughout this video. Yesterday at work, it was kind of coming and going, so we'll see what happens. So we're gonna try this today. This is the first time I've ever used it. I took it out of the package, I washed it, and it's wet right now, so we're gonna use it. Kat Von D. I'm actually gonna have to wrap up with Kat Von D soon too, because my tan from summer is starting to fade, just because it's getting cooler out. And that works because I honestly think my bottle's getting low. Like I had to pump it a couple of times. It's an airless style pump, so I think I need to push the bottom up, but we'll try that some other time. So I'm excited to try this sponge. It's the first time. I don't have any primer on because literally I'm off today, and my only goal is to not move as much as possible, and take medicine and hope that tomorrow I sound 100% better. I feel a lot better, but my voice does not reflect such. Every once in a while I still feel a little crappy, but overall I'm good. So I don't know. I don't know what my body's doing. That's okay. I like this sponge. I definitely feel like the Beauty Blender applies it with a little more coverage, and I definitely feel like a little bit is definitely getting absorbed into the sponge, so there is definitely a difference there, and that's kind of a bummer. Maybe instead of doing it this way, it would work better if I dotted it on the face and blended it out. I don't know. But what I will say is usually when I apply this with the Beauty Blender, I get really full coverage over all of my scarring and stuff over here, and I'm not getting it right now, and it has to be the sponge because I usually apply it with the Beauty Blender. So that's important to know. And like, this foundation in general can be somebody with acne's best friend or their worst enemy, because like I said before, with it being a waterproof finish, you absolutely have to take it off with like a cleansing oil or something specifically designed for waterproof makeups. Otherwise you will break out. So it's important to know. Other than that, like, I feel like I have not had any problems with it coming off. I am very combination. Lately I've been more combination dry, but I have worn this when I was more oily too, and I didn't have issues with it breaking up. However, I do know some people have had issues with it breaking up, so it's one of those things where it's going to be a little different on everybody. You would have to try it and find out, so you can always go into Sephora and get a sample. But if you are very, very breakout prone, I recommend using the Cover FX Mattifying Acne Primer underneath, and not like the coconut primer or anything like that. Just because that one doesn't mattify you so much that you look dead, but it does keep you from breaking out from almost any foundation. So yeah, this definitely absorbs product because A, look at the sponge, and B, I use my usual one pump, and I don't even have enough left to go back and do extra coverage on blemishes, which I usually do. So that's kind of a bummer. That's just overall, I really do recommend it. I do really like it. You know, Danielle asked me to do this because she like was having so many issues with how just thick and cakey this really truly is, because it is a thick foundation. It is very cakey and it does dry really fast. But if you know how to work it and you like experiment with it and everything, you can make it really beautiful. So that's the thing, you have to work in sections of the face. It does work better with a beauty blender or a sponge or a stippling style brush, so something like this. And I've tried it with this. The problem with this brush is it's very different to work with, and so somebody who's new to this foundation and new to this style of brush will probably get very frustrated. So, in general, I do definitely recommend it with a stippling style of brush or a sponge. But overall, I do really like it. It gives me really good, flawless coverage. I can apply it thin enough that I still have freckles showing, but usually I have enough coverage that all my acne scarring isn't showing. So I do really like this foundation. For those of you who are concerned about the vegan and like cruelty-free aspects of it, I know she reformulated it to be completely vegan. And as far as being cruelty-free goes, it would be your decision to make. Kat Von D falls under the Kendo umbrella, and Kendo is certified cruelty-free by PETA, but Kendo is still under the LVMH umbrella. So it's just up to you guys how you feel about it. I'm not, again, this is a conversation I have with a lot of like vegans and cruelty-free shoppers, is it's not my position to tell you what to buy and what to not buy. You have to follow your gut and your heart and what you feel comfortable buying. So there is that. I like the foundation. I think it's a good formula. You just have to know how to work with it. For people with acne and a lot of acne scarring and hyperpigmentation and things like that, it is honestly an amazing foundation for that. I'm losing my voice and it's kind of starting to hurt, so I'm going to wrap this one up. But overall, 2 thumbs up. And if you guys have any specific questions about it, let me know. The packaging is a plastic, so it's pretty travel friendly. Being an airless pump, I would be careful about flying with it, especially if you're checking your bag. It will probably leak. What is with me and it'll probably do this. It'll probably do that. Where am I getting these weird accents? All right, I will talk to you guys soon, and let me know what other foundations you guys would like me to review. Bye.